Hi, I'm Mike Davis from Extra Mile Technology Services, and today we're going to talk about why you should consider hiring an MSP instead of an in-house IT person. And this question usually comes up as a business grows and maybe they had somebody in accounting also trying to do their IT or whatever, and then it's just getting to be a bit much and they feel like they need to create a whole position for that or something. Or they'll get an audit request from a contract that they have, and in order to satisfy that audit, they'll have to run down through and answer a whole bunch of security questions and stuff, and then they're not sure about the answers to it, so they're like, okay, we need some more professional help or something. So here's why to consider an MSP and why it might be right for you. The first is the cost. Let's face it, employees are expensive, okay? And if you're hiring an in-house person, you need to hire someone that can do even your most difficult task, or hire someone that can do the basic tasks, the 80% of the work or whatever, and then realize that you're going to have to contract out anything more difficult than that. And then you're pretty much back looking at consultants or MSPs again. MSPs can come to you for a lower cost because they have multiple people working the help desk, the lower level skilled positions and lower pay. And then they have people that have way more experience that can answer the 10 and 20% of the questions that are really high level stuff. The other reasons that MSPs can do what they do more cost effectively than an individual is they automate things, and they do things like install firewalls over and over. Maybe a small MSP might do one firewall every couple of weeks, whereas an in-house person might purchase and install and configure a firewall every 3 years. Okay, so the MSP has way more experience with that kind of stuff. And they'll often script out their builds and stuff so that as they find better ways of doing things, they add that to their build guide, and then they get consistent results over and over. And as a managed service provider, they're incentivized to be proactively solving problems and to fix things right out of the gate so that they don't have to come back and do some more work on it later. They're also more in tune with best practices because they're doing audits for so many companies, and they spend a lot of time in online forums and websites that are dealing with best practices, and they're communicating with other pros on how to do that. They're in a good spot to be the first to know about new information in the field and stuff that can make things more competitive or more secure or both. The other thing is, with an internal IT person, if you just have one person, they're probably at some point going to want to go on vacation. And if you only have one person that knows all the details of your network and how to fix those random things that pop up every once in a great while, and they're on vacation, what are you going to do? If you're with an MSP, they've got documentation for that, and they've got someone in the company that can cover if somebody else is out. So there's that factor. Even some of the managed service providers that are kind of a one-man band typically have another MSP that they partner with so that they can take a day off or a week off or whatever, and have some coverage for their clients. And the other part about that, and it's kind of related, is the documentation that gets put in place. When you're running a managed service provider, you have to create tickets for everything, and the tickets become your documentation as to how the problem was solved the last time and how often a problem is occurring and that kind of thing. If you have an in-house person, a lot of stuff comes in. We call it the drive-by ticket. You know, the person's getting coffee or whatever, and then, hey, Jim, can you take a look at this? And you know, it doesn't get documented anywhere. Maybe they get an email about something, they're just expected to do something, but there's no way for anybody else to go and search back through their emails, and certainly not any way to go back through phone calls and chats around the office and stuff. So all that institutional knowledge that person gained is gone when they leave. So that's another thing to think about when you're working with an MSP. You can define for them what you want documented and what you want to have documentation for, and then you can periodically ask to take a look at it and make sure it's up to date. And often if you have audit requirements, that stuff will come out anyways, because that's typically par for the course to ask for documentation about your disaster recovery plan and that kind of stuff. So those are just a few of the reasons why a MSP can be less expensive and a better option than an in-house person. There's many more, but those are the big ones. Thanks for watching and have a great day.